Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Hello world, I'm Chris. Sorry. They're delivering my Nexus 10 today, which I plan on unboxing live on YouTube as soon as it gets here and I can schedule it. You might have caught the unboxing of the Nexus 4 live on the YouTube channel, and if not, you might want to go to look at it because so many people liked that video. In fact, I wanted to give you an update on my experience with the Nexus 4. And I hope you like my perspective. Even though I didn't like the Nexus 4, what's the symbol for love? This is... I love the Nexus 4. This is the first Android experience I've had that would keep me coming back to this device. Go ahead, rewind the video if you want to listen to it again. I love the Nexus 4. It is a beautiful piece of hardware. It is an experience that, in my eyes, is unmatched with the current range of Android devices. If you've experienced Android before, just for a brief moment, put those experiences on the shelf. Whether you've loved Android or hated it, just understand that many of us see details. And Android 4.2 on the Nexus 4 melts any kind of apprehension. And I don't know any other way of explaining my experience other than to say the Nexus 4 has been an absolute joy to use. I've been gushing about this phone because it surprised me. It honestly surprised me. I mean, how many Android devices have I tried? And yeah, perfect-ish, but not quite there yet. Even Android 4.2 on this phone isn't perfect. Nothing really is. But this, to me, is a game changer for Android. Not just for Google, for Android. I love the hardware. I love the software. I love the experience on the Nexus 4. Finally, really got me excited about Android. The improvements they made with Android 4.2 are palpable, especially when the hardware can keep up with the software and vice versa. That creates a great experience. Buttery. As buttery as I've ever experienced on Android. It was fun to play with this device. I can't tell you how many times I picked this up just to try something and had to remind myself I'm using Android. The animations, for the most part, were fluid. There were definitely some spots that could stand some improvement, but nothing that would make me go, everything I used seemed to be better on this device than it had been on other devices. You know, from Instagram all the way to Facebook or just browsing the web. Like I said, not quite perfect, but it's getting there. And I'm very grateful to say that, I mean, okay, here's my Instagram page. I'm just going to see if I can show you the performance. Keep in mind, for those of you who have used Android before, this is an Android device. You see how smoothly that scrolls? Did you see any stutter or lag? You don't. You don't. This is Android. This is the Android I've been waiting for. And yes, I'm genuinely excited about this. Oh, you're just getting paid by Google. No, not for saying that. Trust me, I've got integrity, and I'm going to tell you my experience. And my experience, by and large, would give me no hesitation in recommending this particular product to anybody. Anybody. Keep in mind that Google's approaching the marketplace different than anybody else's. And there's certainly caveats that come along with using an Android device in the realm of using other devices from other manufacturers and certainly other ecosystems. But Android 4.2 on here has been the snappiest, most buttery Android experience, the butteriest Android device I've ever had the pleasure to use, and it's an absolute pleasure to use this. The screen feels wonderful. I mean, my fingers just glide across the front. Of course, the The grip on the back isn't amazing, but I still love how it feels in my hand. I love using this device. Now, in terms of the actual screen quality, I found colors to be very vibrant, as true to life as could be expected. The screen text was sharp enough, and that's really, all that mattered to me. I'm like, does it seem sharp? Does it feel like I'm using a device, or does it seem like the device just melts away and I can experience whatever it is that I want to experience, whether I'm reading something or looking at something? Google Chrome definitely has a long way to go in terms of optimization. The Dolphin web browser, as I mentioned in the video the other day, is pretty much the only browser you might use on Android in terms of performance. The experience was just so... I can't even tell you. If I open Flipboard, if I open, let's say Google Currents, let me just open that to show you here, because I know I've got the Locker Gnome channel installed on Google Currents. It was wonderful. Look at this. Do you see that scrolling? Smooth. Android is finally what we wanted it to be. Some of us wanted it to be. If you've always believed in it, great. Just keep in mind that not everybody saw it the same way that you did. Battery life seemed to be more than fair. I was able to get through a day without necessarily having to recharge, or certainly no more than I would any other smartphone that's available in the marketplace today. A few issues that some people perceive as problems don't seem to be issues for me. Specifically, no removable battery, and no ability to extend the storage options. You only really have up to 16 gigs available to you, which makes me wonder if this is more of a phone for developers, even though I would have no problem recommending it to consumers. Those aren't issues to me. Google doesn't have its story completely together, so I have 3 applications installed on Android 4.2 that allow me to communicate with other people. Messaging, Messenger, and Google Talk. Don't I just need one of those? Another thing that it didn't concern me, and honestly for the price, it's not that big of a deal. The camera was not amazing. It was okay. Did not blow me away at all from Photosphere, which is kind of gimmicky, but cool if you use it the right way. But even all the way down to image quality, I found that no matter what I did, it just would not produce incredibly sharp images, especially in low light situations. It was not that good. The colors were not accurate. They the photos specifically tended to be washed out. HDR mode was incredibly slow, a little annoying, but still, like I said, it was okay. It was passable. Definitely not best in class in terms of a camera. And that really is relative to my experience, because I've had good experiences with smartphone cameras, and I've had experiences like this which have not been as good. So you may be upgrading your camera. Keep in mind that I've used better smartphone cameras before. That's not going to be the thing that I think is going to drive adoption of the Nexus 4. Not a fan of the default Gmail application. Really hate it. But it is fluid. I just find that it's annoying. To hide pictures and messages, they only give you one option. Yes. Or cancel, I guess, is the other option. A little annoying. The rear speaker was really tinny. I don't think a lot of people are going to be buying it for the speaker, but optimized for voice. When it's set, let's say, on a flat surface, it's muted somewhat, which makes it a bit more listenable, but you're definitely not going to get very rich sound out of this speaker. It feels wonderful in the hand, great for single-handed operation. I know this is stupid, but I'm going to say it anyway. You guys are going to love this. Watch. Okay, I grew up with tube TVs. And when you turn off the TV, that's what it would do. It'd be this line, and then it'd go to a dot. It's so cool. Did you just... Okay, I know I need to stop gushing. It's there. If you are looking for an amazing Android experience, look no further than the Nexus 4. Absolutely recommended. I hope to do more videos with the Nexus 4. Specifically comparisons with other devices, although sometimes that's a bit difficult because you're talking about different ecosystems, specifically different ecosystems. So I hope to compare it against other Android devices in the marketplace today. You have to see it. You have to touch it. You will not believe the experience you're getting in the Nexus 4. So I guess my review with this experience is a massive thumbs up.